What is up, everybody? Joseph Allen here for the last lesson of the 6 weeks with the 2-week add-on bonus. 8 weeks of how to play fingerstyle for beginners and intermediate players. I hope you guys have absolutely enjoyed this. It has been fun for me. It's been an absolute blast. And at the end of this course, I wanted to, I wanted to offer something kind of really special for those watching, those that have kind of been following along with this. And I want to give a special deal out to, basically, I've got a package bundle, which I'll kind of dive more into at the end of the lesson here, and you can kind of see if that's something you're interested in. But I'm giving a super deal saver if you're watching this video, 2-4 years down the road, and it's probably already gone. So, but more on that at the end of the lesson. Today I want to kind of cover some of the last things we'll kind of want to walk you through. And one thing I really want to go over is, as you're a guitar player, there's a couple of things I think you need. And, if I said the bare minimum, and that is just some picks, a capo, and some tuners and some strings. I think those are just breaking it down. You could say top 5 if you wanted to add a guitar strap. Even I think those are just 4 or 5 things as a guitarist that you've got to have. And there's so much stuff out there, and so I want to quickly talk about those things, because they make a big difference. People don't think about maybe the way you sound or play with your guitar is not anything. Literally, it can be something you're not even doing wrong. You could be doing, I'm leaning for the mic, you could literally doing everything you're doing right, but you got a bad capo, and you may not even know it. Most people don't. It could be your strings. It could be your tuner. Is your ear not sharp enough to listen to what's going on, and your guitar tuner is just not as good as it needs to be? Is your pick? Your pick can mess you up. Your pick can have a better sound or a rougher sound. I wasn't aware of this. I didn't even know. It didn't sound right to me until some people showed me, and I was like, snap, wow, that does actually make a big difference just by the pick you use. And so what I've always told people is you could be an A player, but because of your strings, your picks, your tuners, you could be literally a mid B. You could be an 85% player. Why? Literally because nothing you're doing wrong, but it's just your strings, picks, capos, one or the other, or accumulation. So we're going to talk about that. It's like, as a guitar player, what's a great, and then we're going to dive into the more of the lesson with some playing songs. What are some great strings for me to grab? And some of my personal favorites. I am not just the first one is Elixir. And what I like is, for me personally, since I'm more of a finger stylist, is the HD Light. HD Light. And you can see that because it's got it right here. It'll say kind of like, they'll have elixirs and there'll be variations. And that'll tell you on the side what all that kind of stuff is. Now, I use a 1353, which is just the gauge. And if you don't know what that means, that is literally just like how thick each string is, like the thinnest string to the thickest string. The thinnest string being the high E string, right here, being a 13, and then the thickest string on the low, the 6th string on the E up here, being a 53. Now, I like the HD Light. I think it does a great job. I think they're the longest, hardiest lasting strings. I think no one just beats Elixir on their durability. If you are more of a strummer and you don't have a lot of control, more like a weed whacker in the sense is what I joke, playing the strings, then you're really going to want a medium gauge, because the higher the gauge, the more your tone, it's harder to bend the strings, and you'll be more in tune. You can literally be out of tune by just how you press the strings. It's that simple. Guitar is not like a piano. I think there's pros and cons to guitars and pianos. Piano is hard in certain areas, and guitar is hard in certain areas. But when you're playing a chord, when you press down on a piano, that sound, if you're not a keyboard and you got a grand or something, if it's in tune, then it's going to be perfect sound. A guitar is not that way. By how hard I press or how light I press can make me sharp or flat, and it takes practice and some techniques and stuff to get through that. I don't have time to dive into all that kind of mess. But if you've got Elixir strings and you want to do a medium gauge, that will hold your tone. It'll be harder to bend the strings, and you'll have less of a chance to go sharp or flat when you're playing. Even if you're playing all the right notes, you can be sharp or flat. And so if you're a person like that wants some durable strings, I would recommend Elixir HD Light, or if you're more of a pick kind of person, harder strummer, get the medium gauge. They're just really great. I love them. A lot of people like the custom light Elixir, which do, in my opinion, have the best tone, but if you like a lot of drive while you're playing acoustically, it doesn't have a lot of drive. So there's pros and cons, but I would recommend Elixir in those regards. Elixirs will run if you buy them on Amazon or something. They run around. This is a disclaimer. It's not a set price, but they typically fall around $15 a pack. And so yeah. And then the next set of strings I really love, which are called Santa Cruz. These they're the parabolic tension strings, as my English kind of gets in the way. And if you have not seen these are absolutely amazing. There's so much strings coming out now. Elixir, in my opinion, is not the dominating force, and there's a lot of people that back me up with that. A lot of really, really big, high-class players that are known around the world just for what they do. And so it's not just a Joe thing. And so, but Santa Cruz are amazing. If you like more of that coating kind of feel, like more like an Elixir, but in my opinion, they have less of that feel, less of the coating. So if you're kind of like someone that likes more of that classic touch, but you like the coating for the strings to last longer, then Santa Cruz are for you. These have more of a crunch to them when you kind of play. In my opinion, if you're a pick player and you're doing a lot more of that kind of bluegrass kind of feel, kind of style of playing, then it really punches through. It's clear. It doesn't get muddy. It's really, really nice. I was absolutely impressed. I mean, to be honest, I'll probably have these on my guitars more than I will Elixir. I mean, I'm just gonna be flat out honest. I like them that much. I think they serve a different purpose. If I get to a song, if there's a specific song, a specific mood, I'll change a string, on it for Elixir if it meets the purpose. But I'm gonna say Santa Cruz are gonna be on my guitars more than Elixir. I think they're great, but they are more pricey. They're gonna run, disclaimer, prices change, right? But they're gonna run around $20, if you get them on Amazon. I don't know of many stores, at least I'm in Texas, I don't know of many stores that sell this brand. But it should be on every shelf in every stinking guitar shop or music store. They're just underappreciated in my opinion, but they are on the rise to being some of the top strings on the market. And so if you like something like that, I do get mid-tension. It just helps. I think it sounds better with the medium, like I said. It just holds the tone in better. I would not say they do not last as long as Elixirs. And I wouldn't, if you're more of a weed whacker, I would be careful. You just can't be whacking the tar out of these things. With Elixirs, I think you can do that. You can whack the tar out of them and they still hold. I would not say Santa Cruz are that way, but they're still amazing. And in my opinion, I would have them on my guitars more than Elixir. The next kind of strings that I really like are Diodario. And this is kind of a new kind of thing that Diodario has been coming out with. Do you kind of see that right there? They are basically, Diodario's phosphor bronze, extended life plus natural feel, and they're acoustic. They're 13 by 56. I think if you are a beginner and you want more of that classic non-coated feel, but they've still got extended life. And so it's kind of meeting the best of both worlds. If you like that classic feel on rustic strings, this is something you want to grab. If you're someone that your hand hurts a little bit when you're playing, you want just a better feel when you're playing, this has the absolute best feel. I've never found a string that feels better, or in my opinion has the best action than D'Addario. I think D'Addario has the better action. Now what I don't like is they're not extremely durable in my opinion. They lose their tone very quickly, but they are absolutely amazing as the clock's ringing. They're a blast and they're fun to play, and I love them to death. So I will recommend these, and there are pros out there that use these. They're really good with DAD-GAD tuning. If you are a DAD-GAD player, then this is the one you want right here. I mean, 1356. That's kind of fun. It's kind of where I sit. But if you're a DAD-GAD player, DAD-GAD tuning with your guitar, that is absolutely what you want to play. And if you don't know what DAD-GAD is, that's just an alternate tuning on the guitar, and very common in bluegrass, and just a blast to use. So they do have a newer one, and I haven't gotten it, but I've only heard good things about it. They have one just like this, but it's coated, and it kind of comes in a white box, kind of like a white little package like this, just white. And I've actually got it. I've got some coming that I'm ordering. I'm gonna give them a try, because I mean they're like this, just coated. So I can recommend that. That's absolutely an amazing string. You just can't go wrong. If this sounds this good, and then they're coated on top of that for the guys that like me that like coated strings. Amazing. But these have the best feel on your hands. They're going to feel comfortable. People, I feel, can play longer. If you don't have calloused fingers yet, if you're maybe more of a beginner, this is just going to feel great on your hands. What I personally like to use overall is aluminum bronze Ernie ball. I think, and I use light. I think if you're more of I'm a fingerstylist. I play really light. I have a light touch. I always have people complain, you're too quiet, and can you turn your volumes up a little bit more? I'm not a heavy hitter at all. And I think aluminum bronze are absolutely my top pick. Now, this is the thing, we talked about these. These have more of a darker sound. I play, my main guitar is a Taylor guitar. I have Martins and stuff, and I love them all. I swap around, but as a fingerstylist, this is the only one I have that, will pick up with the pickups, pick up when I do some percussion guitar. And I just love the aluminum bronze. Why? Because they don't have the coating on them. Well, what's the big deal about the coating? They still last long. I don't know what they do. They're kind of meeting in the middle. It's kind of like that D'Addario thing where you're trying to get the coated but not get the coating. And what it does is I like to play a lot of the violin guitar where you'll make your guitar sound like a violin. I kind of piddle around on that. And if you have coated strings, you can't do that. If you change a lot of your alternate tunings, I play a lot of different tunings, and I like to experiment and make my own tunings. The Ernie Ball aluminum bronze will not wear out when I do that. A lot of times, if I like Elixir, you cannot. If you're playing in standard tuning and then you tune it down like a whole step, half step, and put it back, the Elixir just cannot handle it. I don't know what it is about changing the tunings back and forth. It puts a lot of stress on the strings. I get it. If you sit there, you're fine, but they can't handle, going down. They can kind of handle half a step pretty good, but you go down a whole step, the Elixir just can't handle it. This is the best one to date that I found that can. These hold on, and they're really good at going even lower or messing around doing some variations of tunings. I can do the violin. The coating doesn't make it slip and not catch. So these are personally my favorite. Like I said, they have a darker sound, but I have a Taylor guitar, and so the tendency is to be really bright. It's bright sounding, and so I want to take that brightness down a little bit. I'll use a cable, I'll use a cable that is designed to bring the brightness down a little bit. I just don't like a super, super bright sound. And when I do that with my Taylor, it sounds really good. Because why? Because it's already super bright. Taylor guitars are known for being bright. That's what they do. They're awesome. And so I just bring that down a little bit with my strings and bring that down with my cable that I use specifically. I use kind of a monster cable, and it's kind of those ones you kind of see that are just kind of wound. Sometimes you see on headsets, like when headsets kind of wind. I've got one down here. They just kind of spin down. They kind of like stretch a little bit. Those kind of cables bring the brightness down, and that's what I use. And so I can highly recommend these. But any one of these 4 strings, is it 4? Yeah. Any one of these 4 strings are amazing. If you guys are looking for something to try, right here, they are the Santa Cruz. I love them to death. And then the Diodario, and then the Elixir, and then the Ernie Ball aluminum bronze. Ernie Ball aluminum bronze light for me. Elixir HD light. Santa Cruz parabolic tension, mid tension strings. It's medium gauge basically. And then the Diodario phosphor bronze extended life plus natural feel, the acoustic 13x56. Those are all amazing strings. And I will use them in different situations. I feel the Diodario, if you do percussion guitar, when you're doing like a lot of that slap, I'm not peeking over here. When you do that slap technique, it actually sounds better on the Diodario strings. I don't know what it does. It just kind of gets the... it kind of locks into the overtones of the guitar. The slap technique sounds the absolute best on the Diodarios. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what they're doing, but kudos to you guys out there. And I like every one of these strings. I'll be honest. For certain studio sessions, I'm putting those on, or if I'm wanting to play a certain song, I'm playing certain things. I want a certain sound. I'm gonna be switching around with those. But they all do something different. But the aluminum bronze is just something that Ernie Ball I'm going to have on all the time. But I love all these. I buy all these. And so I'm not sponsored by anybody to tell you that. If anybody wants to sponsor me, the string companies out there, if they're listening, hey, hit me up an email. I would love to talk with you. I think they're all great. I don't think you can go wrong with any one of those strings. I'll be honest with you. I've got my Martin guitar. I typically keep Elixirs or the Santa Cruz on my Martin guitar. Why? Because a Martin guitar is not as bright as a Taylor. It's darker, so I've got those strings to make it bring up the brightness just a little bit. It's the best of both worlds. I'm not loyal to one company. I just like what sounds good. And so now let's get into what kind of capos could you get? That's a good question. Your capos to me, or let's do tuners, because tuners will go really fast. You probably heard of it. This is a Snark tuner. Really great. Not super expensive. It's a clip-on. It does a great job. It really does. I don't think it gets super close to the tuning. You got to use your ear, and that's any tuner. Any tuner, you got to use your ear. Your ear is always going to be better than the tuner. But for the price, if I'm going for more of a bottom-end tuner, this is the one I'm going to grab. This is the one I'm going to use, the Snark. It's super durable because I just don't like tuners that break really quick. Most tuners will break really fast. This one does not. It's great. It's really accurate. I enjoy it very, very much. The Snark tuner would be a fantastic grab for a tuner. Now this one is what I have right here, and it is it's going to kind of be backwards, but if I can get the camera to focus on that, it's called literally like a, I don't know if that's it, like a Clio. It's kind of, it says like Uber tuner, and it's KLI, and then I think that's an O. It's some kind of funky O on the end. Clio Uber tuner, and it is really nice. I feel it's more accurate on the tuning than the Snark is. But the thing I don't like is it's not as durable, and so it's got the buttons I feel on the sides when I'm playing can kind of like vibrate a little bit while I'm playing. Now, if you're not a finger stylist, most people aren't going to hear it. No one's going to hear it but me, but it drives me crazy with these buttons vibrating over time. Now, it's an older tuner. I get that. But that's just a pet peeve of mine. I don't like the buttons vibrating, so I typically put it on and I have to pull it off when I'm playing. And so, but the tuning is more accurate but not as durable as the Snark tuner. So, trade-off there. My personal favorite is the and then the Uber tuner is a little bit more than the Snark, but not crazy more than the Snark. And so maybe 10, 15 bucks more. It just depends what you want. But my favorite tuner is the Poly tuner. And this is really fun for me. Get the camera to focus there. This is really fun for me to use. I think it's the most accurate tuner out there. It can actually hear the overtones of your guitar when you play. Most tuners can't hear that. Now, you're paying for the difference. It's not cheap. It's not a cheap tuner at all. But the Polytune is by TC Electronics. Polytune by TC Electronic is absolutely amazing. Kudos to you guys who have made this. I've never had a guitar. I still have to use my ear just a pinch like you do with anything. Your ear's always better than the machine. But if you're looking for something where you want to learn the overtones, or you want to get an edge on people and how you stay tuned if you can't quite hear that yet. And overtones are just where basically when you're completely in tune and all your guitar strings start to vibrate and produce sound together. It makes a more fuller sound. And this can hear it. It can hear the overtones. I've never had a tuner that can hear the overtones. And so I was very impressed. I have to do like a slight tweak, but barely anything. If you're someone who wants to learn practicing hearing overtones, this is the catch. It can actually tune all of your guitar strings at the same time. Now, that to me is a setting that needs more work. Let me see if I can get you to kind of see what I'm talking about over here in the headstock. If I can get kind of a, yeah. When I do that, all the lights come on. And that's literally all my guitar strings. Each one of those lights is a string. I can go individually, or I can strum it really quick and see all of them. Now, it does a really good job. I think it does a really good job, but it's going to be more precise going in individually, string by string. But it does great. If you're someone that has to strum really quick, am I pretty close? Here to show, you mute your guitar, whatever, real quick. Am I close? Yes. Okay, I'm good. Or, the beat really quick. It does help. There are scenarios that does help. I think it needs a little more work, but the concept is amazing. So, very nice. But this one is pricey. It is more expensive. I see most guys that get the, a pedal version of this, and I like the mobile. I'm sure the pedal will probably be a whole lot more accurate. But all these tuners, one thing I didn't mention is all three of these tuners are based off not listening. A lot of them can do that. They have mics where they can listen, but these literally tune to the vibrations of the guitar. So when you're at a venue or something, you're not listening to what's around you. It's listening to the vibrations of your guitar, which is great. They stay more accurate. If you got a tuner with a mic, like a phone or something like that, it's going to have trouble when you get in a loud setting. You got people, you got instruments, your band, whatever. It's going to struggle. You have to leave the room and kind of tune. And if you get a big enough band, in my opinion, you're going to have to do that anyway. That's kind of where the pedals and stuff come in. That's better. And so they'll get out of that. But these do a great job. If I'm in a loud place, I can still tune. I can still get stuff done. All three of these can. But I would recommend the Polytune as my personal favorite. You have the Snark for professional bottom. You have the Uber for a medium, and then you have the Polytune for the high. I just think it's a game changer. It changed my gear, and it gives you points to make you more just of an A player if you want to hear those overtones and make your guitars brighter. Now, one thing I would include here is this is kind of a 3-in-1 package, and I don't even, whoops, my phone fell. Sorry about that. I don't even remember. It's kind of like a 3-in-1, and I gotta be honest, I don't remember what I don't remember what this thing is even called because it's amazing. It's like a 3-in-1 tool. So they call it something special. You guys think you don't even know what you're talking about. It's like I do. I just don't know the name of this thing. I can't remember because it's 3 things in one. That's why I get confused. It's basically a string winder and string cutters, and it pops your pegs off at the bottom on the bridge. And as I scroll down here, well, where did that go? There it is. Ah, the Diodario Pro Winder. There you go. That's the professional terminology I'm looking for. And it's really cool. Take a look at it. Get up close. That's some cool stuff right there. It's got the string cutters right there. It's got on top, on the bottom right here in the handle where you pop your bridge pins out. And then it's got the string winder right here. So when you're up there, you know, you can pop that in. I'm not going to do it right now. And you can wind your strings and go really quickly. It just spins around and you tighten them up or loosen them, whatever you want to do. And then obviously right here, it's got it cuts the strings for you right there. And then on the bottom right here, on the handle, that's where the bridge pins are. So it literally sticks in like right there, and you just pop those bridge pins out. Now, has it ever been hard to get the bridge pins out? Has anyone ever been there? I wish this was here. It's so cheap. Go out and grab it. This is the best thing you're going to have. It's 3-in-1. Diodario makes it. It's absolutely amazing. You're going to want to grab it. It's a game changer. Last but not least is Capos. And I've got several Capos here. One you probably all heard of. You're going to have heard of the... Oh, goodness. Sorry, guys. One you're going to heard of is the Kaiser Capo. A lot of people have heard of Kaiser Capo. It's just the set standard. And you might be asking, what in tarnation is a capo? A capo is literally where you can put up on your guitar, you put across the fret right there on the house, and I can change keys without changing my chords. I was playing the key of G, now I'm in the key of A flat. If I go up here, I play my G, I'm now in the key of A, and I don't have to change my chords. It's a great thing to be using. Now I'm in the key of B flat, and I'm still doing my G chord. It's completely amazing. It's a gift from God. Whoever made this is an absolute genius. But now, something I want to add to you is there's a new thing Kaiser's doing, and it's called a low action capo. In my opinion, that's the one you want to get. That's a game changer. These capos are made kind of like one size fits all, the typical ones they normally get. And it puts a little too much tension on my guitar, and it makes it a little bit sharp, the standard ones. But there will be a more fuller sound with this. If you get the low action, it's going to keep you in better tuning. So wait, I can mess up my tuning by my capo? Yeah, even when you're in tune, it can still be messing up or jacking with you a little bit, messing the tone up. So if you're going to get a Kaiser capo, I would get the low action. It's a very nice price, super affordable. The next capo that I really like is the glider capo. And if you've never seen a glider capo, it's pretty stinking awesome because I can like change keys while I'm playing. It glides across the neck. So you're like, are you serious? Yes, I am. Because when I put this here, I'm going to see if I can get this on camera as best I can. When I'm playing, what is it? I can do, get. It's just really amazing because I don't have to stop playing. How many times, you have to stop, put the capo back on, change the frets, and you have another player that's playing. I can keep playing with him. And that's absolutely awesome. I don't have to stop to change keys. I love that. I can make it musical. I can work with the pianist and go with him in the key change instead of having to cut out if I'm using a capo. Otherwise than that, to keep playing, you have to use bar chords and a whole bunch of other chords, to change keys with them. And not anymore. This is amazing. I'll be honest, there are a good chunk of people out there that do not like this because there are some guitars that just may not fit super well or gets in the way. I would not recommend, if you're not a finesse player, using this, because I've had a lot of people tell me, like, my strings kind of move around, they pop and they kind of get stuck, on the side of the neck. Or where am I? Right here. They kind of get down and then they pop kind of behind the metal bar right there, and then it just kind of, it'll be doing that live and it's stuck when you're playing. And so if you're not a finesse player, I would not recommend getting this. If you want to become a finesse player, I would highly recommend getting one of these. Could teach you a little more control when you play. But it doesn't fit every guitar. And truthfully, every capo is going to come down to what sounds best on your guitar, because the necks are different sizes. Everything works differently. And so you're going to have to experiment a little bit. But the glider capo is a little more expensive than the Kaiser, but it is so worth it. So worth it. A lot of off brands out there now. There's so many people that make this now that are really cheap. You can get some cheap end brands, but you get what you pay for. So be warned. I do have all this stuff, I list my gear on my shop on my website, which you can find in the comments below. If you want to help support, my website and what I do, you can buy through the list on my gear, and it helps me. If you want to do that, but I list like the right one on there if you're wanting to grab the specific company and stuff like that. But these are awesome. I truthfully, I like it better than the Kaiser Capo. It works better on my guitar. There's a lot of people that it doesn't, but with my Taylor guitar, it works better, and it produces not as much of a full sound as the Kaiser. It's a little more dampened, but it stays in tune more. The tone doesn't get messed up. So I love the glider capo. The next thing is called a Thalia Capo. And you might have heard these. These are more of like a Cadillac of capos, if I can get that. There we go. Cadillac of capos. They got a lot of nice inlay there. I've got Indian rosewood inlaid in mine, and just very, very posh kind of capos. You can get your engraved stuff in here on these things, stuff like that. I didn't do all that, and so, but it's really nice because it just clamps on right there to put it on. You can even change the rubber here. Comes out and it can pop out, and you can put different pieces of rubber that they send you based on what kind of guitar you're using, so it actually caters to your instrument. And I think it just sounds really nice. I love it a lot. I need to tune a little bit my guitar. Sorry about that. But it's definitely, and this is the thing too, when you pull it off and pull it on, it's less likely, it does a better job, but doesn't get your guitar as out of tune as the other capos. When you put it on other capos, they're going to be out of tune. When you pull them off, they're going to be out of tune. This one doesn't do that. It does it the absolute best, in my opinion. So if you're someone that's, changing keys a lot with your capo, Thalia is one you're going to want to look at. In my opinion, it keeps such a great tone on your guitar. It beats out Kaiser and all those others. It does just an amazing job. Now you're paying for it. It's a Cadillac Capo. You might have a heart attack when you go and look at it, but it is worth it. And it's kind of a one thing fits all. It kind of works for guitars. It works for ukuleles. They list out all the instruments on their websites, but it fits more than one instrument. So if you're someone that plays a lot of instruments and you don't want to have to buy all these different kind of capos, get a Thalia, and it just all goes in one. You can get a list on their website. It's called a Thalia Capo, and they're just amazing in my opinion. They're great. You cannot go wrong with a Thalia Capo. I love it. On my guitar, it kind of dampens my harmonics, which I don't know if that's just like my guitar kind of a thing. I mean, if someone has a Thalia and it does it to yours too, or it doesn't, put in the comments below, please. Send me an email, something. I'd like to know if that's a me thing or somebody else. And so, yeah. So I'm curious. The last one that I like, yeah, I even got a bag for this, right? It's like, what kind of capo is this? This is called an Elliott Capo. Okay? An Elliott Capo, here we go, right there. It may not look like much. I got a simple one. But this, in my opinion, is the absolute best capo you can buy on the market. It is the most expensive capo. If you didn't have a heart attack with the last one, you will have a heart attack with this one on the price. But what you do is you send in the specs of your guitar, and they make the specs to fit that guitar. This one is made, this little capo right here is made to fit my Taylor. It's not going to fit other guitars well. It's made exactly for this one I'm holding. And which kind of like, oh, I started only playing on one guitar. And it's like, well, yeah, but a lot of people don't have tons of guitars to play on anyway. But and my philosophy is, if I'm not playing on it, I'm gonna hand it off to the next person. You know, I don't want tons of guitars. Just I don't want guitars sitting there. That's sacrilegious. But there's people out there that want to play and need to help them out. If you're one of those guys, go out and help people. Give somebody a guitar, help them out. That's what I like to do with my guitars. I like to give them to people if I'm not playing on one anymore, because people have blessed me, the Lord has blessed me, and I'm going to bless some other people. Give to people that want to play that maybe just can't afford it, or, you know, just don't have the money, whatever. I like to help them out. And what I enjoy about this is it is the best tuning, in my opinion. It does not mess with my tone. It makes a difference. As soon as you put it on, you're going to hear it. And so this capo, the Elliott, is just going to be the better. And so let's give it a listen, so we can hear kind of how it's going to sound. So, and I think it's just absolutely the best, in my opinion. I didn't give you a look at all the other ones, but I just like the it's just not messing with my tone hardly at all, y'all. If you maybe you don't have an ear for that yet or not, but this is just absolutely the most amazing. And what's great about it that I love is, you know, if you're not using it, you can just slide on up there on the neck, and it sits there, and you can still play all your strings. It's not messing anything up, and it's just absolutely great. So, with that being said, that's kind of a list of gear that I would recommend using. Now, I told y'all I would give you one last song on this, and so what I want to do is I'm going to kind of combine, I want to expose you to a brand new idea. I want to give you something to take away. And if you're a beginner, I'm kind of combining beginner, exercise, and more advanced player with this, but I want to expose you to a little percussion fingerstyle. And I'm gonna be real with you. This is a technique. Percussion fingerstyle I've been playing for several years, but this technique is brand new. So I'm gonna get vulnerable with y'all. Here's what Joseph Allen says is one of the next hottest things to be practicing. It's worked with my hands crazy just in a couple of weeks. The results have been amazing, and so I want to share that with you. So it's not clean. You know what? I'm being vulnerable with you. I'm being real with you right now, right here. But it's great. And so let's look at this right now. And so what's going to happen right here is 5% battery. Oh no. I don't want my phone to die. Hang on. It's controlling one of my cameras. And if that goes, everything goes. So, come on. There we go. Charging. We're back alive again. Great. So what I'm going to deal with right here is we're going to start with doing a 3-in-1 package right here. How about that? Expose you some new ideas. We're going to do on the 3rd fret of the high E string. And then we're going to do with our first finger. Our 3rd finger, on the A string on the 5th fret, and then our 4th finger on the 5th fret of the D string, the 4th string. So it's like 3, 5, 5. That's all we're going to do. That's the only pattern you're going to need. We're just going to be moving it up and down. That's literally all we're doing. So on the G, we're going to lay your thumb down, but you're going to do this like hammering on technique. And that can be really hard to do. That's not an easy technique to do. But that's what I want you to do. This will build so much strength in your hands. You might be thinking like, I'm not getting anything, Joe. Practice it. Get it. This technique is amazing. Amazing. And so when I do that, I'm actually going to start on the 2nd fret. You ready? So we're in the same position. You're just taking those 3 fingers and you're moving them down to the 2nd fret, like my first finger on the 2nd, right? So we're just moving them down half a step, and then all the fingers go down 1 string. This makes a B minor. First finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, 3rd finger on the D string, and my 4th finger on the G string. It's a B minor. You jump up to the G string where we were, right? Then you're going to go to the, slide up a whole step to the 5th fret on your first finger, right? And you're going to go down each string, 1 each. As I get in camera over here, and you're going to play the D. Then you're going to go up the strings, and you're going to play an A. So it's great, isn't it? It's the same position, the same fingering, except you're doing it with your first finger on the 2nd fret. Technically the D is on the 5th fret, the 5, and then 2 fingers on the 7. And then you have your G, right, on the 3 and 5. And then you slide up to your A. It's 1 chord, but 4 different positions to make 4 different chords. B minor, G, D, A. And we're going to do like this speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty cool little groove there. Now, maybe that's too slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe your hands don't have the strength to play that yet. If you do this technique, it's going to build so much strength in your hand. You're talking about just playing with your left hand. It's like, why would you do that? Why can't I just, do what I normally do? Well, you can, but then it frees you up to do something over here. Now, this is kind of the sweet spot where I'm going to hit the palm of my hand, and we're going to add a kick drum. What? Yes, I'm not set up with my percussion gear, so I apologize. It's kind of a spur of the moment right here, but I want to give you guys a sneak peek at something really cool. So, what do? You can practice by just going 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and your wrist kind of goes just down like that. I'm hitting with the cuff of my wrist, just kind of right here, right? And I tilt my wrist down. I'm not going like this, I'm trying to get that kind of a little bit in there for the sweet spot of the guitar. And you'll have to kind of change around to find your sweet spot where you get the most kick. And when you get up to an amp and you mix it right, you sound like a kick drum. It's stinking awesome. Acoustic, you have to use a little bit more of your imagination, but when you get on the amp, it just changes everything. And so we're going to do that. How do I do that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Practice that. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's on 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's on 1 and 3. 1 and 3 are the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to put this together. And I would start by just doing the root note if it's too fast. When you go like 1, 2, 3, 4. To the G, 1, 2, 3, 4. To the D, 1, 2, 3, 4. To the A, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when you start putting the two together, that's going to get a little mind-blowing when you start doing this, but we're literally going to go really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the technique that's going on here. Now, when we speed it up a little bit, okay, if you have to stop, practice, do that. You want to be clean and crisp. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's kind of cool. Now up to speed. That's kind of a cool little riff right there. That's something new, but I told y'all it was new, right? I'm being real with y'all. There you go. Okay, if you enjoyed this course, I hope you would consider coming being part of my academy. I hope you would consider taking lessons from me. And I got a bundle. I got a super deal right here. And that deal is I'm selling a course that normally a bundle together. You want to know how to open the neck playing open chords where this isn't a problem. And the problem is you literally run out of room. Do you want to have a problem of getting, 20 exercises, basically 5 days a week, a month of exercise? How do the pros get in shape? How do the pros stay in shape? Literally, I'm talking playing just 10 minutes a day. How do they do it? I have a bundle for that too. And I have my guitar book, which you can download still for free right now with this course is being offered. My digital copy of my ebook, How to Play Guitar, as well as a free lesson with me. Like, let's get on, let's do your time, have a conversation that fits your schedule instead of maybe just coming on watching this live stream later. A free lesson that's not free, but you're paying for it in the bundle. And then, so chords, which has like 70 inversions of playing in any key for the chords on the guitar. Exercise bundle, it has a free lesson with me personally, one-on-one. And then the guitar book, as well as the first, it costs basically $100. But it's typically a bundle that's worth $300, so it's a $66% off. Now, if you did that with other people, they typically charge, are you ready? About $1,000 for something like this. And I'm charging $100. Now, here's the kicker. The first 10 people that sign up, my online academy is new. That's a new thing. I'm uploading videos every month, and it's a start. It's got 30 videos on there. I want to, as the tractor's in the background, we're on a farm, people. And then I want to offer this to you. The first 10 people that buy this bundle will get a lifetime membership to every update that goes in my online academy. $100, free lesson one-on-one with me, you claim it. Lifetime access for the first 10 people that buy it to my online library academy. Unlock your neck, 70-something plus chord inversions, playing open chords to make it sound the most potential on your guitar and learn to play in every key. And how do the pros get in shape in 30 days with playing 10 minutes a day little exercises. Of course, the MP3 tracks come with that as well, to hear it as well. And my ebook, which you can still get for free right now, but it's going to close at some point. Get that all for $100. If you want that, click on the link below. Now, prices are going to vary, obviously, if you're watching this like 2-3 years later. I don't know what I'm going to be offering because it's only open for 2 weeks. That's the catch right now. And so, but I've always got discounts going that you can subscribe to my newsletter, check my stuff if you're watching this 2-3 years later. But that is a discount I have going. So check the discounts I have. It's only open for 2 weeks. Take advantage of it. And I hope you guys have a blast. Thank you for doing this with me. It has been absolutely fun. I have loved doing it with y'all. I hope you go download my copy of my ebook. If you're watching this somewhere, or you've been on my newsletter or something like that, if it's still up for availability for free, click the link below as well as finding that course. Go grab it. It's open for 2 weeks. And like I said, if you're watching this years later, stuff might be changing or something like that. Just check out what's going on. And go for it. It's 2 weeks. So what is today? September. Yeah, I can't even say the day, so I'll worry about it later. But it's 2 weeks open. So go check it out. Go do that. Thank you for doing this with me. I love you guys. God bless. Thank you so much. Y'all are awesome. I've just loved the response, the comments, everything. You guys are absolutely amazing. Go check me out on my website. Go buy that bundle. And I hope it helps you become even a better guitar player. I hope you've enjoyed this fingerstyle series. And love you guys. God bless. Stay in His steps. Honor the Lord with your playing, with your thoughts, with your minds, with your hearts, in every action. And go out and honor the Lord and His kingdom. Spread His word and tell somebody about Jesus today. That's what I challenge you with. So God bless and enjoy yourselves.